Hi everyone, this is Sparkle from Sparkle for Life on YouTube, Sparkle Rare June Young on Facebook, Sparkle for Life 1 on Instagram, uh, and TikTok is Sparkle for Life 7. I'm coming to you live with another video, and I think I got 15 minutes because I'm on a 15-minute break. And I have an issue that lay heavy on my heart that I just want to discuss and get out there. Before I do so, I want to shout out to all my supporters that has been in my messengers and stuff like that has supported me through my difficult times and journeys, through my personal issues with my family and myself. I want to say thank you for your love, for your support, your prayers, and your beautiful comments. We thank you and we appreciate you very much. Continue to keep them coming, to continue to like, subscribe, share, and comment on my pages. You're gladly appreciated. Uh, Thank you for supporting my sister's page on her YouTube as well. And I just want to go into this video because I don't have much time left. It was a situation that was brought to my attention. And it was a situation to where two boys that lived in a group home, they both were nonverbal. They both had special needs and they are adults. And you had two staff members that were there for a good 2 months that were hired into these group homes. And their job was to look after those people on their shift at the time of their shift. They're supposed to feed them, bath them, spend time with them, give them attention, whatever's required of their needs and wants for that shift. That's what they were positioned to do. I'm not going to say it was personal or nothing like that. It wasn't that type of thing. But these are special needs. And when you're working in these homes, you're required to see after them. And your main job is to keep them safe and healthy as much as possible. Anyhow, um, these two particular staff were actually abusing two particular residents. They were nonverbal, as I mentioned. It was other staffs there, but other staffs were like competent and they were aware of their surroundings. To where these particular two staffs, they were nonverbal. As I mentioned previously, they are adults, and they were torturing them during their shift. They would do things like pour water on them in their sleep. They would do things like take Nerf guns and shoot them at them. They would actually fight those residents physically and put sores and wounds on them. Other staffs have paid attention to them and got wind of it, so they were watching them, those two particular staffs closely, as well as the residents. And when they found one that came to them out of those two, it was one that were able to answer questions to the best of their ability. Even though they wasn't really verbal, they were verbal enough to let them know something was going on between him and another resident. With that being said, recipient rights was brought into the situation. Those two residents were brought up on charge, as well as the family being contacted, as well as CPS workers were contacted and everything. Reports was written up. The staff also were definitely great about reports and things that they experienced between the staff and the residents. Things that they're seeing, the reactions that they're seeing. They seen reactions that were different with these residents when it came to these two particular staff. Like they would try to avoid them. Because these staff, they were assuming basically, for what the report says, that the staff members, as I mentioned, pouring water on them in their sleep, shooting them with Nerf objects and stuff out of the Nerf guns and stuff like that, actually abusing them, actually hitting them and wounding these residents. Probably starving them and making them stay isolated in their room during their shift because they didn't want to attend to them during their shift. So when the other staff members will come in, they sleeping on the couches, they waking up on the couches, and they ask them to do things. These staff members will holler at them, get verbally disrespected to other staffs, and these things were reported. These things was not paid attention to until the abuse started happening, and the staff members took it upon themselves to call recipient rights. They have brought it to management attention, and management overlook it. And you have some companies that will overlook things and feel like it's not that bad because they need the help, or they don't want to go through trying to hire someone else and stuff like that because they don't have the time and the patience for it. So you have, companies that are downsized for a reason. And because of that, you have people that are suffering behind that. Now, getting back to these two residents and these two staff members, as I mentioned previously, recipient rights came in because the staff members took it upon themselves to work together as a team, and they reached out to recipient rights. At that time, once recipient rights came into the picture, that's when management and that company had to look into the situation and give that situation some attention then. Because now they have to attend to things. They can't avoid it, overlook it, brush it under the rug. If I don't see things with a naked eye, then it's not happening. It's just hearsay. They could not avoid the situation no longer. So they had to pay close attention to the situation and give it some attention. Now, I was told basically that the result of this is that they found the allegations to be true. Now, before that, all that went on, when things was brought there to their decision, to management and recipient rights was brought into the picture, I was basically told that they didn't want to let the staff members go because they felt like it was other staff members' word against theirs. They didn't have actual proof for what their argument was with management. So during investigation of any workplace, when you're brought up with serious allegations, usually for my years of working, you're suspended until further notice without pay until the investigation is over with. If those allegations present to be false, then you come back to work. But if it's proven to be factual, then charges not only brought up against you, but then there's punishment that comes behind it. I don't know how management felt that they didn't need to suspend the staff that were brought up with these allegations. I don't know what made them feel like they didn't have to do it, but it took for those parents to say, no, my child feel endangered. These allegations are brought against them. I don't think that more than one person will come against them and say these allegations, because these are really serious allegations. They will not team up against these two staff if these allegations was not true. Who would say something like that just out of the blue? Who will pin allegations on someone just because they don't like them or just because? I haven't heard of no one actually doing that before. But like I said, the allegations at the end deemed to be factual. So those two staff members are no longer working for that company. And if they ever try to work in this field again, they would see those allegations pinned against them, and they're not supposed to be hired in any type of field that has something to do with adult care because of those allegations, which I feel that's good. To be honest, I feel like the police should have been brought in there, but they lucky they got off with that. Now, this is what I would say. What is this world coming to? How can you bring it upon your mind and your spirit and your heart to abuse people that cannot defend themselves? How can you be that cruel and indecent as a human being to do something like that? I can't bring it up. I cannot bring it up on your upbringing, because in the Bible it says at the age of 12 and up, you are knowledgeable with right or wrong. So that means you have a brain as well as feelings, as a heart. You can't think and as well as act. So you know right from wrong. How can you be that inhuman to hurt people that are special need, that cannot defend themselves, that rely on you to keep them safe and secure, that rely on you to be advocates for their voices, to be their voices, to be their eyes, to be their ears? How can you as people have the audacity to hurt people like that? How would you like it if someone did you like that? How would you like it if you were in their shoe? How would you like it if a loved one of yours was in that shoe and someone did that to your loved one? How would you feel? Because what you did, it's like you have no feelings at all. I would think you operate on batteries, because people that deal with human feelings, people that have a heart, and most people that are children of God would never let that run across their mind or their heart to hurt another person that never did nothing to them, number one. And number two, a person that cannot defend themselves, and they rely on you to take good care of them. They rely on you to feed them, to clothe them, to make sure they're safe, make sure their health is intact, make sure they're secure, because that's what you get paid for. That's what you signed up to do. That's the job and position you chose. So why would you choose a position like that when your heart is not in the right place, when your heart is not in it, and you're not a people person? Why would you abuse and neglect and abandon a person? How can you bring yourself to be that inhuman, to do something as cruel as you did to those people? Oh my God, when I said I was mad, when I said my heart went out to it, and it wasn't even about no race, because those two individuals, those residents that pay their monthly rent for room and board, that lived there, that got treated like that was in that position, one was black and one was white, that got abused, neglected, misused, mistreated, abandoned, isolated, that got treated with cruelty, indecency, unkindly. It wasn't even about a race. It was about people that was so ignorant and just want to make easy money, that will put it upon themselves to treat someone like that. And I can't say them the type of people you hire, but once you get width of your staff doing such cruelty, that's as you as a manager supposed to further investigate it with your eyes and with your ears. You're supposed to pay close attention, because these are your licenses on the line as well. And whatever happens, it falls back on you. And for you as a manager, that would be okay to have people in there once the allegations were brought up, and you were okay with still keeping them on the schedule. It says a lot about you representing that company, and it says a lot about that company. So now I'm guessing, and now I'm thinking, how many more people in that company that you allow in there? Because it makes me feel like you'll hire anyone for some help. Because you really had a hard time with letting those 2 staff members go. Even though allegations was brought up against them. You had a hard time with letting them go. And that should have been a quick decision right away. Because what's important is those residents. Their rights were violated. Their safety was endangered. What type of company will allow people to stay and still work a schedule when allegations are brought up against you? It says a lot about that company. That's number one. Number two, I'm going to reach out to family that have loved ones in that predicament, whether in a nursing home, group home, assisted living. You need to come and see after your loved ones. You need to make sure they're okay. You need to make sure their wants and needs are met. Because you have to realize you have cruel people like those 2 staff. And you have people out there that can only do so much for your loved ones within their shift. That's because you put your loved ones in that place. It doesn't make you a bad loved one. You actually put their needs before yours, which is human decency. And I applaud you for that, because sometimes it's not easy to make that type of decision. But when you do, your care does not stop there. You don't put your care all into the staff members' hands, because they only can do so much. They're only going to do what they get paid to do. And after that, their shift is over with. They're not thinking about your loved one until they see them again. You have to love and care enough about your loved one to go see about them, to make sure their rights are being met, let's just say. Their care has been met. They're being respected. They're being supportive. You have to care as a loved one. You cannot leave these people in these situations and suspect it going on about your life and everything going to be peachy and cream. Because guess what? When shit like this happens, the first thing you say, why? What happened? Why with mine? Why? You wouldn't have all those whys. Not saying that you could prevent everything from happening, but you wouldn't have all these whys if you would go check on your loved ones. Because guess what? When they realize that you don't have loved ones, that your loved one don't have people that come and see about them, check on them, support them, they feel like that you have abandoned them and that you don't care about them either. So why should they care about them? So that's when neglect, abuse, abandonment, mistreating, that comes into play, because you have people that's ignorant as these 2 staff members that would do shit to your loved ones and don't give a damn how you feel and how they felt. Imagine the shit I told you. How these boys felt as they was going through that. They was going through this torture. Put yourself in those shoes. How would you feel? And I'm going back to the people that done this. If it was you, if it was your child, if it was your loved one, oh, you feel you don't deserve that, right? You feel that's not right. Justice should be served, right? Well, guess what? That's how those residents, those men that was nonverbal, and they counted on you to take good care of them through your shift. That's how they feel. And that's how their loved ones feel. But, oh, baby, let me tell you something, honey. There is a God. God's seen everything, and he don't like ugly, and he's not too fond of cute. Can I put that out there? And karma has your name written on it, because, baby, if it don't attack your loved one to where it does a domino effect on you, you do got to get old, if you live to get old. And you better hope and pray the shit you done to those boys, that shit don't come back on you 20 times 4. Because I don't put vengeance in my hand, and neither do the next person that I know that happened to them. But what I will say, I don't wish vengeance on someone, is what I mean. But God's seen everything. And he did say, vengeance is mine. And oh, baby, when God take care of folks, he take care of them far better than what you would do. You're going to wish that you never done the shit that you did to those people. How can you bring yourself to abuse someone that never done anything to you, that rely on you for everything? How? I just want to understand what type of shit going off in your head to where you felt it was okay to do that. I don't understand what people be thinking about. Because you got a lot of people out here that has not been diagnosed, and they're walking around here and they're seeing after your loved ones. And their care, your loved one care is in their hand. People, you better go and check on your loved ones. Because this shit is real and this is reality. And if they can do that to those 2 residents, think of how many more people across the globe are getting mistreated. This shit been going on for years. In different states and different cities. When you guys gonna wake up and go and see about your loved ones? I put out a previous video about a nursing home situation. And you be thinking sometimes it's the nurse's aide because we come in contact with them. They're the first person we see. We're the last person they see. It's not always us. No. Sometimes it's the nurses. So let me put that out there when it comes to a nursing home. As far as other facilities that deal with special need, mental illness, you have staff members that don't give a damn about your loved ones. And that shit like that happens. So I'm advising you, and excuse me for using profanity, explicit verbal conversation, but I'm mad as hell. I'm mad as hell because I can imagine how them boys felt when they was going through that torture. I can imagine. I put myself in their shoes. But them evil ass bitches, they're going to get what they deserve. God don't like ugly, as I mentioned, and he's not fond of cute, honey. And the shit that you did was not cute. It was far from it. It was ugly as hell. And you're going to get yours. And when God whooped that ass, it's going to be worse than the ass whooping you put on those men that needed you, that relied on you, that was scared of you. You used their own fears against them. You took advantage of them. Everything that they didn't want to experience, that their family was hoping that didn't happen, you did it. You better hope and pray it doesn't come back on you worse. And it doesn't come back on you while you're still living, or it doesn't happen to a loved one of yours. Because those tears they cried, the scaredness that they felt, the bruises that you put on them, oh, it's going to be worse on you. I promise you that. Because, oh, there is a God. Because you got to realize one thing. Those 2 residents that you did that to, nonverbal residents, oh, they have praying family. And they family believe in God, honey. And they family told God on you, as well as God seeing it for itself. Sometime when shit happens, we want people to get gat right away. And we want God to move fast. And we want him to take care of shit and take care of folks right away. But one thing I know is God's timing is not our timing. And when he take care of your ass, or when he put a situation go together, it's going to come together like it's supposed to. Bet you, like I said, You better pray that God has mercy on you, baby, because your turn is coming. Your turn is coming. I promise you, I put that on my life. Your turn coming, whether it's with you or your loved ones, because what you did was curse yourself. And what you did was curse your loved ones. Because those are God's children. Touching his anointed ones, you might as well could have cut your head off with a milestone and wrapped the milestone around your neck. How about that? You just cursed yourself. And like I said, I don't wish vengeance on no one. I don't wish bad things on no one. You did that to yourself. Because what you put out in the universe, oh baby, you're going to get it back. And if you don't get it back, your loved one's going to get it. On account of you, stupid. Ignorant. Because you thought that shit was cute. Well, I want to see if you think this shit is cute when it happens to you or your loved one. Capiche? You were wrong. And I hope you see this video, whoever you are. You were wrong. And I'm going to be the first to say, you were wrong. You were dead wrong to do some shit like that. But those two boys that you did it to, not only did I pray for them, but they do have loved ones that pray for them also. This is only the beginning with recipient rights being involved. And you can't no longer work in this field. This is only the beginning of that karma. God ain't through with you yet. He ain't through with you yet. But you better hope and pray that God has mercy on you.